Well, hello, my beautiful Librans. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of July, right through the end of August 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, you may notice I have reinstated the Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So, let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Librans, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile is the unified energy of how things come together. Also worth noting that if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That is more likely to be a false flame connection, which will drain you of your beautiful love and, of course, waste your wonderful time. You know, false flames actually trigger you without evolution. Neither side will go through any personal development and growth, so that's a way to measure whether you're in a twin flame connection or a false flame. They're often very similar, there's a fine line, but a twin flame will actually trigger you to become your best self. It will be a dynamic that reflects back to you your greatest strengths, but also your greatest weaknesses, so that you can, amplify certain areas in your life to promote healing and personal transformation. It's a sacred union that is the result of shared difficulty and pain. And, this twin flame dynamic, it's very important to recognize that, of course, when you meet your twin, it's very intense. It's all-consuming. You can't stop thinking about your person. It almost feels obsessive. And, it is very physical in nature at the beginning, but it's more of a spiritual awakening, not an actual physically romantic relationship. It's a process that prepares you to release low vibrational energy that either keeps you stuck in fear, addictive patterns, or unhealthy attachments. It's a period of reprogramming in separation, okay? And there tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period, which of course is not always the case, but it tends to be typical to form. It's a personal journey of discovery, an inner vibrational transformation that must be done alone. And that's why there tends to be that separation period. But this is a calling to discover one's true purpose and embrace unconditional love for self. And only then can the reunion process really take place and be sustainable. Now, I don't know if you noticed with the Gaia chimes, your energy with this person is it's interesting, very curious about each other. You know, there's moments of coming together and it being really magical, and then of course separation. So there's a lot of separation energy there where it's like things start to get off the ground and then suddenly it peters out into nothing and there's a stillness, no contact for a while. But then right at the end, it became so intense. You know, even when I was about to put the Gaia chimes down, it was like coming alive. It was so active. So I do see that both parties are going through a period of personal development and growth. So yeah, there is this energy of caution, but coming back to some sort of reunion there because they have the judgment card. So they are judging their actions at this time. You're maturing. You're taking ownership of your life. I definitely see here that you are stepping into your higher power. But I feel your person, because they have the judgment energy, this indicates in the future, this person wants to reunite. They want another chance. So let's get to a little bit of a deeper dynamic to see what's going on with your twin and the journey. Because twin flames, you know, they're here to awaken each other to stand in their primal power and elevate in consciousness towards a union. And you have the elevation of consciousness right there with that high priestess energy, and that's in your future. But also, it's worth acknowledging that twins will step away in order to acknowledge or aware, to become aware, as it were, where they feel they need healing, where the wound lies. And twins, they tend to have had some sort of traumatic experience before they even meet each other. So that's the thing that needs to be acknowledged and processed. And a twin who is a runner may acknowledge there's something within themselves that they have not healed, that they're not willing to look at, that they've been running away from their whole life before they even meet their twin. And they feel that if they brought that into the union, it would destroy the union. So they kind of don't want to destroy the union, so they step back in order to protect. And I know that sounds counterproductive to the relationship, but sometimes it helps a person, and we're all very complex beings, retain a sense of control. You know, it allows the twin to step back, to resolve things within themselves, to give space, to heal and accept. And sometimes the universe will actually step in as well in order to break up the twin flame dynamic so that there is no distraction. So both of you can kind of be independent, love yourself unconditionally, and also focus on your true life mission and purpose, because each twin has a purpose. Now, it's not a game, it's an energetic exchange, okay? I want you to be aware of that. It is an energy where both parties reflect back to each other. It's a mirrored relationship. You may have heard of this term, you know, the twin flame mirroring, and basically what it means is that when you look at your twin, they are provoking or triggering or amplifying all the things within yourself that needs to heal. So any trust issues, codependency, you know, self-loathing or feelings of not enough, you know, those things arise to the surface. So both of you kind of look in the mirror and see things within yourself. And your twin will look in that mirror and they'll see things within themselves that they have been avoidant of. And of course, they get fearful because they know what it requires, the work that is meant to be done in order to step into a vibration where they can offer you a healthy love, a love that you truly deserve and desire. And I often explain twin flames like magnets, both identical in polarities. At the core of both of you, you share the same frequency. And if you have two magnets in the same frequency, of course, you attract each other, but also repel each other. There is that space in between. It is there on purpose because both vibrations attach themselves and they are connected and identical in that core, and it means that you're too similar. You haven't changed your frequencies, and you change that by focusing on your sense of purpose, but also loving yourself a little bit deeper. I mean, you have the Queen of Cups there, which is all about unconditional love. You know that you met your twin. We've got the Knight of Cups there. We've got the Ace of Pentacles for your person. We've got the Emperor as an outcome, which is about, you know, the future. It's about building structure. It's about overcoming something and releasing control, I feel. There's an energy of control in this relationship. Now, this can present itself in terms of ego, for example, where we feel love should go a certain way, or that we should connect to success before love, or, you know, ideas and narratives that perhaps need to be changed or adapted. and a response that is typical needs to be changed here. So I feel there is a reprogramming, because that's literally what the High Priestess means. It means to show up, to connect to a higher enlightenment, and reprogram, to reflect on the past, the present, and the future, so that you can acknowledge any narratives or cycles of repeat or any lessons passed down from generation to generation that perhaps have influenced a person in love and have got in the way of love. So there could be some generational healing going on here. But I mean, looking at the energy, let's get to your cards, because that's a little bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame dynamic. You know, if you've got those two magnets that want to be together, you know, they keep being drawn to each other. And I feel it's important to recognize a twin will keep trying to come back because they're trying to step up. They're trying to be the person that they aspire to be. And yet there is a cycle of repeat that they need to break through, acknowledge, before they can fully come back and there is a vibrational match. But the chaser, you know, tends to need to step back and put all that energy that they've been focusing on their true love, they need to put it inwards so they can focus on their mission, unconditional love for self, and, you know, healing for self as well. And only when that happens, that is the catalyst for change. Remember the magnets. If all that energy is going inwards, you're changing the frequency of the magnet. And then that will, of course, draw your person towards you and give them an option to step up or step out in the connection. They get an option to really heal and move forward with a healthy environment in the relationship. So both parties will have a choice, but of course it is a dynamic that needs to be reflected on. Okay, now I'm excited because you two, you and your person, there's a lot of love here. We've got a King and Queen of Cups. Now, this indicates a vibration of love between you both. There is a lot of love. So if you've been asking, does your person even have feelings for you? The answer is yes. But as you can see, they're very cautious. This person's very hesitant to put that ship in the water because there's shark-infested waters there. This person feels unsafe when it comes to love. Now, there's no excuses here. I'm not here to take any sides, okay? I'm here to understand both sides so that I can understand an outcome. But I feel with this energy that you were willing to lead in this connection, that you were open to the depths of love that love has to offer. You offer this person unconditional love, and you still love this person. The Knight of Cups indicates that, you offer this person emotional understanding and you offer them a safe space to explore love. But I feel like there's something here with this person that they tend to judge themselves a lot, okay? I mean, they are focusing now on their higher calling, which means your frequencies are coming really close together to return to each other, okay? But I also feel there's something about this person and maybe the foundation of them, because they've got an Ace of Pentacles there, but we'll tap into their side in a moment. It just feels like they're hesitant to get involved in love because they're scared. A lot of fear in this person, okay? And of course, shark energy can indicate that they have been bitten before, once bitten, twice shy. Maybe even they've had a couple of experiences here where they've been hurt. So we'll get to them in a moment, but the Emperor energy indicates that you are leading in some way, that you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, and you feel kind of this energy of having to make a difference or take some action in this dynamic, because if you don't be the catalyst for change, then nothing will change. The repetitive cycle will be continuously present in your energy. Again, it comes back to the magnets, because if this magnet is always reaching out, the dynamic will be the same. The frequencies have to change. And the frequency changes by you elevating to focus on your priorities. And I feel a lot of you are doing that right now with that Emperor energy. Now, I also feel a lot of you are being strict with yourself because the Emperor is a strict energy. This can be that you're being a little bit more reserved in your feelings. I mean, you haven't stepped away fully, because there's a lot of energy here in this particular twin flame dynamic that I am picking up on, that there's still a lot of love. And that love has not gone anywhere, but it can indicate that you're trying to control it in some way, where you're trying not to reach out, trying not to think about this person. You're trying to be a little bit more serious about focusing on your life and, your sense of purpose, and also the things that bring you joy. You're trying to cut out anything that does not lead to happiness. I also feel here that you are acknowledging anything that does hurt you, that you are kind of like stepping away. And, the Queen of Cups, as you can see on this card, there's a lot of fish here. It's like, yes, there's plenty more fish in the sea. And yes, you could attract, a multitude of people. You get a lot of attention. You are magnetic. However, there is this one person who has captured the whole of you. And you may feel that it's really hard to step away from this person because you love so deeply. The love just doesn't go away. But it's like you're trying to control it in some way, or you're trying to kind of manage your feelings, right? That's what I'm getting from this. But also with this Knight of Cups energy, I feel that this experience has helped you blossom in some way, that you are trying to find the peace within the lesson. A lot of you are trying to romance your life a little bit more, for example. And I feel this is about you understanding these raw feelings, because you expose your heart to this person, okay? And you know that vibrationally they are attuned to you in a way that no one ever is. But some of you in this love and this separation period, which is very hard, it can indicate there's a lot of wound here, there's a lot of hurt. You feel very exposed in this connection. If you look at that heart, it is very much on display. Some of you may wonder, have you got played in this connection? So I'm just going to pull a quick card. I mean, looking at the energy, this is how your person feels for you. They have the highest love that love has to offer, okay? But we've also got this triggering to connect to their higher purpose, which is great because it means you and your person are very close to coming together to have a long-term relationship, to find your way back towards each other. So there is still caution and fear. So I just want to see a little bit more about you, because you're showing up right now as offering unconditional love, that you care so deeply for this person. And also, there may be an understanding here where you've witnessed something in your childhood with your parents or guardians, or, your upbringing there. Because I feel a lot of you had a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders when you were younger. You had to grow up quite quickly. So this can indicate that, you are someone who tends to lead in relationships, maybe be an overgiver, okay, based on your experiences. This is a card which means you need to protect your energy. This is a period in the separation of finding emotional security within self. Being a healer, tends to mean that you offer all of you to a person and you don't reserve any part of it for you. So you can offer and end up drained or exhausted. But you're learning that you're worthy of love and respect. And I feel there is a lesson that both you and your person are kind of like learning together, but separately, as it were. I feel this is about you becoming comfortable with yourself and nurturing yourself. The separation period for you and your person is all about, emotional self-care and love for self, to know that you are enough and that, you need to protect boundaries or erect healthier boundaries there, okay? We've got the Nine of Swords, caution, we've got the Ace of Wands, and we've got the Judgment. So I would say there's an energy here of judging a situation, because the Judgment card is showing up again. Nine of Swords is caution. It is being haunted by the past on something, or feeling like a never-ending cycle of pain, or also I feel this is about when we have intrusive thoughts. I feel your person right now as well has been doing a lot of questioning whether this is lust or whether this is love, because the calling in their soul to seek you out and return to you is strong because of the cards that they have right now, okay? So I feel like this person will offer an opportunity to meet up again. I mean, this is a card, the Judgment card is the card of wanting another chance. They are called to be with you. They know that you are their destiny. There is fear there, but I feel with that ace, the fact that they're getting aces, this person wants a new start, or they're trying to find their way back to you. They are trying to take the initiative, as it were, whereas you took the initiative for the majority of the relationship. So I feel, some of you, especially with that Nine of Swords, you may worry that this person is a new person, but looking at the energy, I feel like they are vibrationally matched to you as a couple. So I feel, there's no one outside of that they are interested in. And I feel that actually they're busy transforming their life, because the Ace of Wands is all about transformation. It is about, having the power to make the changes that are necessary to step out of fear into possibility, as it were. So I would say that both of you are kind of judging this connection right now, and you may be afraid. I feel this energy of like you may have been afraid that you got played, but I feel this person, they were doing a lot of soul searching when they first met you. It was like they were lost and they were just uncertain about a path or a journey. Okay, and I feel for some of you, they may have been worried about money as well, but I feel they may have been at the beginning of something in their life, like a new start, and they were like, oh, you know what, I can't do a new start all over the place. I just need to just focus on my sense of direction. I feel this person was either a little bit lost or aimless when they first met you, and they were seeking. And it's like when they didn't truly know themselves, they couldn't offer you a part of themselves because they didn't know themselves. So it's like they felt empty or somehow a shell of themselves. So they felt a little bit lost and bereft, and they just didn't want to draw you into that confusion. So I feel like they pushed away. Okay, that's what's coming out with them right now, but that doesn't take away the fact that these two cards highlight a lot of love. Okay, but also I feel this is about you learning more about yourself. This is a call to fall in love with yourself and your life, and it seemed like a bit of a challenge to do so for a number of years, but I feel now that you are becoming more comfortable in your desires and in your sense of what you want in life. I mean, this is the becoming stages for you. This is opening up to being a healer and acknowledging that healing started with the self first. However, you gave so much of yourself out all the time that you lost yourself in all of this. You know, it's worth noting that a healer, and I feel your person looks at you as a healer as well. You quieten their storm, as it were. A healer is someone that you go to who does not heal you. They offer you a platform to heal yourself. So, for example, you go to a counselor, for example, and they ask leading questions that probe and prod you to discover more about yourself or a root cause of something. And I feel that you offered a platform of stability, of kindness, unconditional love, and you helped your person to a certain degree discover more about themselves because they were feeling lost, okay? But I feel like they had to push back so they could truly find themselves. And I feel divine intervention because there's so many aces here. Aces tend to be divine intervention. And I feel like you and your person were put separate on purpose in order to focus on your higher calling, okay? Because you have a mission of something that you need to do. Real growth happens when you and your person step away without distractions from each other, because twin flames are all consuming. So if you just got together and that was it, it would be you and them, and it would be this like submerged energy where you wouldn't see much outside of yourself. You'd be so locked onto each other because it is an intense relationship. But there has to be that separation for you to find yourselves. And I feel that's what's been happening in this particular dynamic, okay? Now, I also feel a lot of you have been doing a lot of questioning because the High Priestess is there. And I feel the questioning is, what is love? But with this higher calling card from your person, which is, of course, the judgment energy, I feel like they are judging their actions. Both of you are judging the relationship in a different way. I feel with your person, you know, they're aware that if they had had a healthier start in life, things would be different. So I feel this person's looking at their journey right now and how something occurred in their journey that made them stop everything. They became reserved, or they kind of like stopped interacting with things that they usually love doing. There's this energy of hesitancy, like suddenly everything stopped. So they may have had a very monumental moment in their life where everything changed and they were rebuilding and they felt really lost in all of that. That's something that's coming up. But right now they realize that they have a higher calling, and that higher calling is the love that they share with you as well as their purpose and mission. So I feel, you know, when you have a conversation with this person, they're going to be telling you of all the things that they've been up to, and that is their sense of purpose. They've found purpose and meaning, and therefore they are more fulfilled. They're listening to their heart. They're listening to their calling at this time. And I feel the calling actually is to find their way back to you despite the fears. We have that King of Cups, which means, you know, they are someone who is learning to become comfortable with their emotions, someone who's actually at the core of them a peacemaker, someone who's non-judgmental, someone who, you know, is kind and loving and a good listener. They have all of these traits, but they may have had lots of interference by other people, for example, telling them the way that they should be living. Especially when someone is feeling a little bit lost, they may search outside of themselves to soundboard a friends or family, and they just come up with more questions. So I feel with this person, you know, there is this energy of learning to be more emotionally available, to not be afraid of their feelings or be afraid of how overwhelming unconditional love can be. Because when you have a person who may have had some sort of traumatic experience in their past, they may have had certain unhealed responses as a coping mechanism to protect their heart. You know, this is a very protective card, as you can see. The figure has removed the ship. Ships are all about the journey. They've removed the ship because they feel unsafe. So it can be that their response to being exposed in an intimate relationship, feeling that depth of love, is to suddenly go, stop, keep you at arm's length, remove their presence from the environment. So I feel this person is aware and judging their knee-jerk reactions in this twin flame connection, but it is a learnt response that they are trying to unlearn at this time and reprogram so that they can be more present, so they can fight that urge to run away from a part of themselves that they have been avoiding for some time. Because this is a card of avoidance. Look at that. It doesn't mean never, it just means not now. And they were dealing with something. So there's a lot of love there. We got the Ace of Pentacles. Aces are new beginnings. And as you can see, it's like out of all the mud, because a spiritual awakening, because they're going through an awakening, and so are you in a different form. It's requiring this person to sort through the mud, how hard it is to blossom, how love, you know, it's hard, but it's worth it. So this person, I feel, is aware that they've had to sort through the whole mud of their life, like go through dark night of the soul, in order to blossom, to grow. This is a period of personal development and growth for them as well, in order to create a healthy environment for true love to blossom and thrive. But it required all of this effort to push through all of this in order to finally expose their feelings or realize that actually love can be safe. So let me just pull a card on this person, because I feel there is an energy of potential, the start of something. You know, this person finally reaching out, because there is a communication with you and your person in the future with that Knight of Swords. I feel your person is genuinely trying to make some adjustments in their life to respond differently to a learned response. The Hierophant and the Queen of Wands. Okay. Interesting. So there's an energy, I mean, looking at the cards, they're vibrationally matched to you. There is a queen here, and we've got a Hierophant. So either this person was in a high-level commitment with someone else in the past, okay? Someone who gets a lot of attention, let's put it that way. And it may be that you get a lot of attention as well, because, of course, this person is only focused on the seahorse. Seahorses always connect to, you know, either twin flame or soulmate energy. And there's a lot of other fish kind of circling there. So it can indicate that, you know, you get a lot of attention. And this person has been with someone who gets a lot of attention, someone who outshone them. And the Hierophant can indicate they learned a lesson there. When a partner gets a lot of attention, there is a potential for insecurity, jealousy, or trust issues. So I want to go a little bit deeper, because this person may have been in a high-level commitment or even married in the past. They tried to build a home with someone in the past, and it can be that there was an imbalance in this connection. They were very popular, whoever this person is, and this person, it's like they like to flirt. Let's put it that way. Okay, so it may have raised some hesitancy in this person regarding love. So let me just see a little bit more. Can you show me this Queen of Wands? Because this person is single right now. Okay, whoever this person is, the Ace of Pentacles indicates, you know, that they're looking at potential in relationships. The Chariot card and the Tower. This person shocked them, so I feel this person really like rocked their foundations. The Chariot and the Tower, I mean, these are major arcana cards. So this can indicate that suddenly everything they knew in the relationship became unstable. It fell away. And this person may have left them and actually like even moved to another state or country. I feel this person like bolted from the union real quick, leaving this person like shocked. So this person has had, you know, a major loss when it comes to relationships. I'm not seeing that this person was cheated on per se, but I feel the abruptness that the relationship ended really shocked them. And I feel also that when they met you, things went pretty quickly for them and they started to get a little bit scared that, oh, I'm falling into this and it's all consuming. And actually, there's a difference between a Queen of Wands and a Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is someone who is very loving and kind and supportive and there, present, offering unconditional love. And there's a lot of empathy there. And this person, your twin, feels a bond with you like no other. The Queen of Wands is someone who is, of course, attractive, magnetic, and someone who matches the Queen of Cups in many different ways. But there is an energy of the Queen of Wands being a little bit more outgoing and more focused on self, as it were. The Queen of Cups gives out. The Queen of Wands is very much like, it's all about me, okay? Not in an egotistical way, but in a way where it's like, they're very confident with their magnetism and they enjoy the attention of others, okay? So I feel this person, your person, actually dealt with someone who really, like, destroyed them. Little pieces of themselves they've been putting back together. So they may have not been emotionally available because of a hurt from their past, and they created a wall to not let anybody in. They're very hesitant. Whoever this person is, they are definitely cautious about love. They have loved and lost. Okay, but I feel this person is coming around to want to nurture a relationship long term. I mean, I'm not getting any energy that you're completely walking away. I feel like you're trying to control the energy. You're fed up with the way things have gone. Something definitely needs to change there, because the Emperor and the Knight of Swords in the future position cards indicates that you are adapting your reaction or your response to this person. Your response is a little bit stricter, a little bit more distant, okay? And it can indicate that, you know, there will be a positive outcome, because when you get a Knight of Swords, it normally means that you can pursue this and find a stability in a very chaotic situation. But also it can indicate that you're a warrior, and so are they. They've dealt with some stuff, you've dealt with some stuff, and that, you know, you're both wanting to take action on this and find a way to maturely have a conversation, take accountability for actions, and remove the thing that has been getting in the way of the sun of your relationship, as it were, removing the clouds. So I feel there will be a discussion where you can both see the woods for the trees, as it were, see your relationship from a higher perspective. We have intuition. I mean, both of you are deeply bonded. Okay, so this is a period of review. Where are we at? How far have we come? You know, what am I going to learn from yesterday that can inform my today to secure my future? So I do feel a lot of you are kind of like cautious, because the High Priestess is a very cautious card. There is a period of analysis here, but also inner wisdom, that knowing you belong together. But you cannot belong together unless everything is healed, where you can come together in a vibration, because that will be unfair. That's going to play out some painful cycles that have the potential to ruin a relationship. So I'm going to pull a quick card on these two, because if you see this Emperor, you know, there's a lot of blossoming going on here, but also there's a lot of dead wood here. So it can be that, you know, this conversation can literally cut away the dead wood in your relationship in order to promote growth. Things need to be cut out, or there needs to be an alternative approach here so you can return together. I feel your person is going to ask you to reunite They're going to ask to meet up. Okay? But the way that you respond may shock them, because I feel like you're different. They don't get easy access to you. Doesn't mean that you're completely severing ties. Looking at the energy, I mean, if a lot of you are like, no, I'm completely done, I never want to see them again, then perhaps this is not your reading, because I didn't choose these cards. These cards popped out for a reason. I'm picking up on someone who still has a lot of love and feels really exposed and raw in these emotions, and has thought about moving on and, you know, opening up to new relationships, a soulmate, but still vibrationally you're attached to this person, and you wonder if you can find a way to find your way back towards each other. And the answer is yes, in this particular twin flame dynamic. We have the High Priestess, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Eight of Wands. So Page of Wands is all about the sense of purpose, but it's also that spark, you know, taking the initiative. This is a card of news. Pages bring news. So I feel you may be cautious when you get this communication, but the Eight of Wands indicates some sort of movement and improvement. I mean, if you look up the meaning of Eight of Wands, 8 is the number of the self, which of course means to prioritize one's needs, but also it means some sort of news, either a call or a text. You know, this is an energy of moving past like this sense of infatuation. It is a commitment to change. It is to establish priorities and decisively take action in order to, you know, deepen your love. It can be a card of falling in love. So I feel with this Page of Wands energy, I mean, it's worth noting that a Page of Wands is to take the initiative, but it is also to establish loyalty in a commitment. So a declaration to say, look, we have a bond that is unbreakable. I can't stop thinking about you. I can't stop, you know, having you on my mind. This has got to mean something. So I feel your person is going to come towards you to explore this further. Now, because the Knight of Swords is there and the High Priestess with the Emperor, I would say that there's communication. It's going to be very reserved at first, taking accountability, being honest with each other, talking about lifestyle changes and choices. So I would say that the commitment doesn't come until later. It's a process, but I feel you and this person, you can find your way back towards each other. So we have, I can feel our connection getting stronger. Out of all the twin flame dynamic relationship readings I've done for this particular season, for the next 6 weeks, yours is by far the strongest. To have a vibrational match so strong with the Queen and King of Cups tells me that there is a vibration of love that is drawing you back together. I dream about a future with you. Now this deck, of course, is about conversations of things that have not been said. So there's lots of different cards in this deck where it's like, I can't do this. I can't see a future with you. I don't want to be with you, or I can't open up emotionally. I'm afraid of how I feel, all of those things. But you're getting cards that highlight that this person does see a future with you and is trying to make some sort of effort in order to create that environment so that love can grow between you. And I avoided what I was feeling. Yeah, I mean, they even got the King of Cups here. There's 2 kings in this deck, 2 emperors in this deck, okay? The artist and the creator of this deck, Catherine Wellstein there, created that on purpose to highlight the different aspects of these cards. So you got the one that was very hesitant and avoidant of feelings because they did not feel safe. But this is clarifying, even in a different deck, that this person felt they had to avoid love for whatever reason, because I feel something they experienced was very painful. And they felt they could not get involved in that, especially when they were feeling very lost and soul-searching in their life when they first met you. They were not ready for the depth of love that was established between you. So I'm just going to go and get a final card. Now, this is an interesting deck because it could highlight areas that have not been looked at in the dynamic. So let me just see what comes out for you there. Thanks so much, Spirit Guides, Good Angels. I mean, if you were questioning, you could have got any card in this deck as well. If you were questioning if this person is your twin, the answer is yes. Okay, you got the twin flame card come right out there. My guide just said one more, so I'll give it. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Good Angels. Can you please guide? I'm actually hearing a song right now as well. Okay, this is a very famous song. I'm just hearing "Let Me Love You." Let me love you. A very famous song. If my memory serves me well, because I think it's come up in a reading before in the past, maybe not for your sign, but I can't really remember. DJ Snake. Okay, I think that's what the artist name is. I mean, Snake is all about transformation. Okay, and it can also be about some sort of level of toxicity, whether it's a cycle of repeat or whether it was an addiction that was maybe present. You know, everything has a meaning when it comes up in a reading with my guides. So it can be that this person's healing. But you may hear that song in the next coming weeks or months that highlight, you know, a connection and a reemergence of your twin in your life. So we have stuck in limbo. Okay. And it says here, you're stuck in limbo, filled with doubt or confusion regarding your relationship and someone you believe is a twin flame. Break the cycle. So yeah, all of this love, you're pulling inwards. You're changing the magnetic frequency within yourself so that you can draw your twin closer to you and promote their healing and stepping up. I mean, that's the vibration I feel like you're in, but you have been feeling stuck in limbo. That's why you protect yourself with that Emperor energy and erect healthier boundaries and be stricter with where you give your energy out by having those boundaries. We've got availability here. Okay. Now, as you can see, there's like a rainbow shard there. Rainbows are rare. So I feel this is a rare moment where you and your person can come together in a frequency that allows space for each other and your authenticity. And it says here, there will be so much support in this relationship, everything ranging from emotional support to basic needs. And that's, you know, a rare dynamic in twins where they can come back together in that frequency, okay? Because it takes a long time sometimes, but I feel, you know, there is a coming together here. And finally, of course, we have the twin flame card as well. And it says here, you have met your twin flame, and even though it will be challenging, it can create a profound and life-altering sense of wholeness. Both of you need to learn that you're whole all by yourself, that you are not missing half of you by being in separation with your twin, because there is this misunderstanding that twins are, you know, half of each other. You vibrationally are identical at the core of you. You share frequency, but you're whole all by yourself. Your twin will be a welcome addition into your life, but only when the healing is done and both of you are locked onto your sense of purpose, which I feel is like super close for you two, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates for you. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. So we have the wolf. The wolf is the pathfinder. So you're finding your way back to each other. The calling is strong. Okay, now, of course, wolves are all about independence. And wolves, they separate themselves from their pack, but then they return and they support and protect. So I feel you and your person are in a rite of passage right now where you needed to be independent. You needed to go off and do your own thing and have your own experiences. But there is a return in this particular dynamic that I'm picking up on. And I feel you will reunite in your future. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates. Thank you so much, my beautiful Librans, and love and light.